Like if you don't anchor yourself in some new habits and learn a new way of being, I talk about this all the time, the be do have, you become the person that does the thing to have and sustain the results. But if you don't do that, then what'll happen is subconsciously you'll return to your old habits and your old way of thinking, your old way of being, because that's what's safe and familiar. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Pivot Your Way to Health. I'm Yolanda, and on this channel we talk all things GLP-1 wellness for women in midlife. So if that is content that you are interested in, please consider joining the family by hitting the subscribe button, also turning on your notification bell so you don't miss an upload. Now today I want to talk about 3 reasons why you may be plateauing, or why a lot of women plateau on their GLP-1s. And plateauing means that you hit this spot in your weight loss journey while you're on a GLP-1, where you're just not losing any weight. And at some point, we all hit a plateau. I know when I was on the medication, I hit a plateau where I wasn't losing weight as fast. Some people's weight slows down. Some weight loss slows down, where they were losing about 2 to 3 pounds a week, and it drops to 1. And some, maybe you were losing like 4 or 5 pounds a week, depending on, what your dosage is or was, and the other things that you were doing, like you're working out, and you're eating and all of that. And then it just like stopped, where you just didn't lose any weight. So I have 3 things, 3 reasons why you may have plateaued that you haven't thought about. You probably haven't thought about. And so the first one is sleep deprivation. And poor sleep increases ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone, and it drives appetite and cravings even while you're on a GLP-1. And lack of sleep also decreases leptin, which is the satiety hormone, making it harder to feel full. And so sleep deprivation is directly linked to weight gain, because it results in makes you exhausted, where to the point where you don't have the energy to go exercise, and instead you reach for quick energy foods like carbs and sugar just to stay functional. And so both hormone changes from menopause and midlife stressors can contribute to poor sleep quality. And so when you're sleep deprived, your body thinks that it's starving. And so it increases the hunger signals to compensate for the energy deficient from the lack of rest. And so the bottom line is, of course, we know GLP-1 suppresses your appetite, but if your sleep is disrupted with night sweats, insomnia, and hot flashes, then your hormones are working against the medication. So you can't out-medicate poor sleep. Now, I struggled with hot flashes once I stopped taking the medication, and I've had night sweats. But while I was on a GLP-1, I did not have nights. Like, my hot flashes were not as severe, and they weren't as frequent as they were before I took the medication, and since I've stopped taking the medication. And so if you think about it, when you're up late at night and you can't sleep, you will reach for, you typically do, are up, like eating late at night. And so bottom line is, again, poor sleep. Yeah, I have my notes here, and I just got an email from my daughter, so forgive the little brain fart. But like your sleep, when your sleep is disrupted, it causes your hunger hormones to work against the medication. And so reason number 2 is identity crisis. Weight regain is linked with feelings of shame, hopelessness, emotional stress, distress, and self-blame. And so significant weight loss can trigger new or worsening mental health issues like anxiety, depression, and disordered eating behaviors, because you haven't learned yet how to function in this new body. You probably haven't done the work to regulate your emotional eating or disrupt those emotional eating patterns. And now you're seeing yourself very different. I know when I started losing weight and I started looking, like, I still had my clothes that were like extra larges, like I was still like trying to put them on before, even when I lost like the first 50 pounds, I didn't like go shopping immediately. I was still wearing the clothes because I hadn't necessarily made the connection Now, okay, we're a whole, you got this whole new body, but you're also a whole new person. And I wasn't always wearing the oversized clothes, but I didn't like get rid of them immediately. And so sometimes, like, again, just like with gaining weight or regaining weight can can make you feel ashamed and bring about emotional distress. Research says, not Yolanda, research says that when a person experiences significant weight loss, it can trigger new or worsening mental health issues like anxiety, depression, and disordered eating behaviors. And so the psychological risk factors associated with large weight loss, people who lose large amounts of weight, and weight regain, they overlap significantly, especially with those linked to menopause. And so women who lose significant weight sometimes experience an identity shift because they no longer recognize themselves or know how to exist in their new body. And that is true. But baby, I quickly snapped out of that. It didn't take me long. It did not take me long. So that's why I always talk about doing the work. The mindset work of this process is more critical than you going to the gym or you mastering what eating plan or meal plan or time of day when you eat, the intermittent fasting or whatever that stuff is. Like the mental work that you need to do in this process, if it's not addressed, then you will likely sabotage your progress subconsciously. And then that will make you return to a familiar sense of self. Like if you don't anchor yourself in some new habits and learn a new way of being, I talk about this all the time, the be, do, have, you become the person that does the thing to have and sustain the results. But if you don't do that, then what'll happen is subconsciously you'll return to your old habits and your old way of thinking, your old way of being, because that's what's safe and familiar. All right. And so losing weight changes how you see yourself and also how others see you. And so if you don't process that identity shift from the beginning and rebuild who you are now at this new weight or at this new, in your new body, then your brain will pull you back to what feels normal, because our brain is set up to try to make us feel safe. And even if that means regaining the weight. And so the third reason is chronic stress and emotional chaos. The transition of menopause, and this is speaking directly to those of us who are menopause, the transition of menopause is marked by fluctuating levels of estrogen and progesterone, which increase a woman's risk for anxiety and depression. And so midlife stressors like job pressures, I know a lot of us have gone through layoffs and we're experiencing some financial strain. Those who are caring for small children, aging parents, like this can compound what you're already experiencing psychologically. And so cortisol, which is the chief stress hormone, it triggers emotional eating and interferes with blood sugar regulation. And so research suggests that chronic stress and exposure to stress hormones may contribute to the persistence of obesity. And it also will contribute to you, once you come off the shot, contribute to you having that rebound weight regain. So stress hormones cause cravings for sugary, fatty foods. And of course, we know that those slow down metabolism. So once you start eating a carb, it makes you want to eat more carbs. When you eat sugar, it makes you want to eat more sugar. So obesity and the neuroinflammation it can cause are another risk factor for mental health issues, right? And so GLP-1s, we know, again, they help with appetite suppression, but it does not help with anxiety, stress, depression, or emotional regulation. So if you are accustomed to using food to cope with emotions and the medication takes away your appetite, you're left with raw, unprocessed emotions and no coping mechanism. And so that's why, again, that is why I tell you all the time, it's like this medication gives you a window of time to really slow down and see what your body is telling you. It silences the food noise. So now you can have clarity and you can stop operating off of programming and really being in your conscious mind, paying attention to your eating habits, paying attention to your patterns, paying attention to your, the self-talk. All of those things matter. So your body's stress response, which is a high cortisol, actively works against weight loss by slowing metabolism and increasing those cravings. And so the overall point is plateaus happen to just about everybody on a GLP-1 between months 9 through 12, according to research. So it's not that the medication is failing, it's that your body adapts. And if you have these three underlying issues, you got the identity crisis, you're under extreme stress, and you're sleep deprived, then the medication can't do its job effectively. And that's one of the reasons why I created my GLP-1 Jumpstart program. We had our first cohort this summer, and I was able to work with 10 women, and I am to help them create a strategy for this process while they're on the medication. We go through your behavior, personality type. We try to figure out where your blind spots are. We create a meal strategy, a meal planning strategy that is authentic to you. We provide support emotionally to help you break those negative eating patterns and negative thought patterns. And there's also a behavior-based workout plan that is provided as part of this program. And so it is a hybrid coaching program. It's 6 weeks long. We meet once a week for 6 weeks for support and group accountability. And then you meet with me 2 times throughout that process. And so I'm going to open up registration on Monday, November 3rd, and the program starts December 2nd, and it runs through January 13th. So I'll leave a link to the program. So if you want to enroll, you can do that. It's only open to 12 women because it's very intimate and it's very, very high touch. The information will be in the description box below. So I hope this helped you, especially with those of you, I've read the comments, and some of you have said that you feel like you're plateauing. You don't feel like the medication is working. Check your sleeping habits. Check whether or not you're under extreme stress. And also make sure that you are paying attention to just your overall environment. You guys, like, it's really, really important. I say all the time, it's so important that you have community, you have the right support around you. And that's what these videos are for. And that is what my GLP-1 Jumpstart program is all about. I'll be dropping more information about that in the coming weeks because I want to see you in there. I want to see all of us win. And it's not about weight loss, you guys. It's really about a lifestyle change. And so, again, I hope this helped. Let me know in the comments what part resonated with you. The link will be for GLP-1 Jumpstart cohort number 2 will be in the description box. Like the video, share it with another woman who is on her transformation journey, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And I will see you next time. All right, bye.